The last 2 weeks have been tough. You know, the players have trained exceptionally hard. We're trying to get up to the pace and the tempo that we expect from Australia on Saturday, and it's going to be frenetic. I think when we've played the Southern Hemisphere teams, we have struggled a little bit in the first games of those encounters because it's been something that the players, we haven't expected. Well, we know it's coming, but it's just a matter of making sure that we're used to that. So we've trained really hard with that tempo, and hopefully we'll be right for Saturday. We've really looked at the long-term plan in terms of this campaign, the Six Nations, and really in the World Cup. And our whole focus in the next 12 months has to be getting out of our group in the World Cup, and that has to be our primary focus. And although we want to do exceptionally well in the autumn and the Six Nations, and those are important tournaments, important games for us, and making sure that we do perform well, the long-term objective is qualifying and getting out of that group and making the quarterfinals. I think for a nation like Wales and the squad that we've got, we feel like we punch massively above our weight. We struggle with 2 or 3 key injuries if it does happen with depth. But all I can say is that when we play these Southern Hemisphere teams now, they come fully loaded. They don't look at putting second string sides out against us, and and maybe they do that against one or two of the other Six Nations teams. But when they play Wales, I think this is a sign of respect that there's no second string players playing against us, and so we know we're up against the best, and that's exactly how we want it. I think the criticism that has been levelled at me in the past is that I've been stubborn and not made changes, and so if you look at the 9 and 10, they've been the form 9 and 10 and for the Ospreys, and they've been selected on form. The decision on the front row was a little bit of a fitness issue in terms of Paul James had trained exceptionally well the first 2 weeks, and both all 3, Gethin, Richard Hibberd and Samson Lee, didn't take a full part in training on the first week. So I felt it was a little bit of a risk to put 3 front rowers out who hadn't been involved in all the sessions where Paul James had been involved. So for us, I think there's a lot of logic in the decisions that we've made, and I'm pretty excited about and positive about the selections of the squad. And I think there's a lot of the selections are, from my point of view, pretty justifiable. They're a good, tough team up front, and I can remember a couple of years ago where they'd been beaten by Ireland, hadn't played well up front, turned up to Twickenham. The following week, everyone expected that England were going to dominate them and win, and Australia turned on a masterclass up front. So, you can't underestimate them. A lot of people have been talking about what's happened with Kurtley Beale and those sorts of things, and does that make them more vulnerable? With Australians, it makes them stronger. They thrive on any adversity and any criticism, and we're expecting a really tough game on Saturday.